If it was up to Israel, there would be peace in the Middle East because we have no problem with the Lebanese people. All we want to do is have a country and live peacefully. Unfortunately, this isn't the situation with our enemies. They don't accept Israel's right to exist. We would hope for diplomatic resolution. If that doesn't work, we'll do whatever necessary to make sure that Israel's safe again. Hezbollah is a terrorist entity puppeteered by Iran because Iran keeps declaring that it wants to destroy Israel. The international community also has to be more active in understanding the threat that Iran poses to Israel. Any organization that would threaten Israel will target them and will make sure that they pose no threat. Iran holds a very important key. If Iran decides and understands that it's in its interest to stop the attack on Israel, to accept Israel's existence, then things will be much better in the Middle East as a whole. Since the 8th of October has been attacked by Hezbollah in the northern border, as well as obviously having to deal with the terrorists from Gaza and the attack that we suffered on the 7th of October. So Israel is now in a situation where it has to, after a year, return citizens who have been displaced from their homes in northern Israel, and for almost a year now have had to leave their house, leave their belongings, and go live in small hotel rooms for months on end, and they have to return home. Unfortunately, the Hezbollah was not willing to implement UN Resolution 1701, basically a resolution that was decided on in the UN, which would basically allow Israel safety in the northern borders and allow Israelis to live peacefully. Because Nasrallah was basically, he was the one who was leading this line, or one of the main leaders of this line, together with Iran, who basically are the puppeteers of this area. There was no other choice of dealing with this in order to allow citizens to go back to their house and for Israelis to live safely in their borders.
Hassan Nasrallah, after his assassination, Israel is proudly saying that we are somewhere controlling the fundings and other things which are happening inside into Israel. How you are looking after any such kind of hypocrisy or kind of ambience who are trying to create any kind of disturbance in the Israel? How are you managing that at this point of time?
So Israel's preference is always to try and find a diplomatic solution. So if it was up to Israel, there would be peace in the Middle East because we have no problem with the Lebanese people. All we want to do is have a country and live peacefully. Unfortunately, this isn't the situation with our enemies. They don't accept Israel's right to exist. They don't allow us to live in the way we do. And again, like I said, we have to do everything that we can to maintain this. So we would hope for diplomatic resolution. If that doesn't work, we'll do whatever necessary to make sure that Israel's safe again.
What is that whatever is necessary? Because even Benjamin Netanyahu clearly sent a message to the Lebanon and the Iranian leaders that if you're try to hit us, we will not spare you in any country of the Middle East. Is it a clear message that?
I think so, and I think with Israel's actions speak for themselves in the past few days. Israel does what it needs to do, and it's not happy about it. We don't want to live like this. I think most people want to live peacefully and want to have, they want their children to thrive and to just lead a quiet life. But we have to enable that, and whatever it takes means whatever it takes. And I think Israel has shown that and we've seen what that means when we're attacked and when people threat our existence.
Do you somewhere have doubts about the Lebanese interference in the Israel, the foreign policies and the investments and other things?
No, I mean, I think, again, like I said, Lebanese people are not our enemies at all. Lebanese people themselves have suffered from Hezbollah. Many of them also suffer from Hezbollah, as do other Sunnis in the region. Nasrallah has killed not only Israelis and not only Jews, but they've killed Americans, they've killed French, they've killed other Muslims. So I think we're not worried about the interference because we are making sure that they don't interfere. I mean, we're worried, so we do something about it, and that's what we've been seeing in the past few days.
Do you somewhere have doubt? I mean, Israel have some doubts that Israel is getting targeted by the Iran and also the Lebanese, these kind of, especially when it comes to Hezbollah and the Hamas.
Yeah. So I'd like to make the separation between Lebanon and Hezbollah because the Hezbollah is a terrorist entity puppeteered by Iran. And yes, of course, Israel is very upset and very worried about Iran because Iran keeps declaring that it wants to destroy Israel. I think no country can feel good about some kind, and I think the international community also has to be more active in understanding the threat that Iran poses to Israel. So Israel now finds itself in a situation where there's a country that actually declares it wants to destroy it. So yes, Israel is worried, and Israel will do whatever is necessary to make sure that this doesn't happen.
The kind of attack which today morning itself, the Israel started in Lebanon, are you somewhere targeting only Hezbollah, or somewhere do you feel that there is connection between Hamas as well therein with the Hezbollah?
So there are Hamas activists in Lebanon as well, and anybody who is threatening any terrorist, Israel is fighting terrorists. Okay, they're not fighting Lebanese community, they're not fighting innocent people, they're fighting terrorists. And terrorists, it doesn't matter if terrorists are Hamas terrorists or if they're Hezbollah terrorists or any organization that would threaten Israel. Israel will target them and will make sure that they pose no further threat.
But how do you see this? The kind of many, including Middle East countries, are attacking Israel verbally and differently. They are saying that the Israelis attacked Hassan Nasrallah only because he stood with the Muslims.
No, I don't think that's. I haven't heard that much. I don't think that the Middle East is saying that, and I think most of the countries, and you see like the UAE, who have and Bahrain, who have had peace agreements in the Abraham Accords in 2020, they understand the importance of Israel and the importance of the relationship with Israel, and I think most of the leaders understand the reason why Nasrallah was targeted, and they know that Nasrallah was a terrorist and a head of a terrorist organization. Some might have some doubts about other things, but I think that specifically is something that is understandable, and they understand why what Israel's motives were, even if sometimes they don't agree with them.
Israel is becoming like neutralizing these of terrorist active organizations which you are saying, but other side these Hamas and the Hezbollah both are saying that we are being targeting because safeguarding we are safeguarding our people.
I don't think Israel did not attack anybody. The 7th of October, before the 7th of October, we were living peacefully and we were hoping for peace. And throughout the years, Israel has reached out to try and come to a more sustainable solution for the Middle East, time and time again, and always met with resistance from the different partners or different enemies, I should say. So Israel was attacked on the 7th of October. It's completely clear that Israel was attacked. Terrorists entered, raped women, killed children, and carried out horrific attacks. One of the worst pogroms that we've seen in years. It's something that no country would be able to bear. And the next day, the 8th of October, on its own accord, the Hezbollah started attacking with missiles from the north. So Israel had was not offensive in any way. Israel had to react and was defensive in this war. And Israel is we have a strong army, and will do anything we need to do to defend our people. We've seen in the past what happens when Jews were defenseless, and we'll never ever let that happen again.
Is it a message to those countries who are trying to interfere in the offenses of any affairs of the Israel?
It's a message to any terrorist that tries to attack Israel.
Well, before you said that the Arab countries are funding actually the Hamas. Few Arab countries.
Iran is funding Hamas, yes.
Are you also saying that Iran is funding Lebanese?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Iran's proxies, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis in Yemen, all of them funded and trained by Iran, supported by Iran. Absolutely. Iran is one of the major players in this, or the major player in this situation, and Iran holds a very important key. If Iran decides and understands that it's in its interest to stop the attack on Israel, to accept Israel's existence, then things will be much better in the Middle East as a whole.
You are somewhere trying to increase the power of the Israeli army one side. Other side, these organizations coming, and you are saying that these are trying to attack again and again, and we will not let them.
Absolutely.
But other side, do you somewhere feel world and countries like India, America and China, they can do something to bring back peace in these locations?
Our allies are very important. America and India are very, very close allies of Israel, and the international community has a very important role to play, especially with trying to explain to countries like Iran and others that the best way would be to stop the attacks and to let peace prosper in the area.
What kind of India role, what kind of India can play in this situation?
So India and Israel, like I said, are very, very close allies, and I know that I think Modi has spoken to Netanyahu and they've shown his support, and I know that they're discussing ways that might be relevant in the future, and that we'll have to wait and see what plays.
What message is Israel trying to give to the Iran? The people of Iran.
The people of Iran, I think that our Prime Minister has explained, we have no problem with people. Okay, people to people like I said, people want to thrive, people want to live peacefully, and the people of Iran, I'm sure, also want to live peacefully, most of them. Their problem is that they are basically subjected to a non-democratic, very extreme Islamic regime. And so I think the message to them is, we have no problem with you. The problem is the regime, and if that ever changes, then things will calm down, and there would be hope for a better life in the Middle East.